Joining us now is a man we also appreciate mucho, a guy who's a 4-time NFL MVP and currently defying all medicine, seemingly, with the recovery of his Achilles. Ladies and gentlemen, quarterback for the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah!
Oh, nice.
Hey, guys, since we're remembering animals today, let's remember the legend that was Harambe.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Miss you, Harambe.
Let's have a moment of silence yet
What
again.
happened to him?
Dead.
Shot in the head.
He was shot in the head many
Oh,
times.
shot over and over. You're right.
At your zoo.
Yeah.
At your zoo, AJ.
Nope.
Just kept shooting.
That's Cincinnati. I'm a Columbus Zoo guy. You know.
You sometimes.
Well, you just talked about a sloth, though, at Jack Hanna's. Isn't that at Cincinnati?
Yeah, what's that
Nope.
about?
Columbus, pal.
Oh, Jack Hanna's. There's Toddy, dead. Rest
Still
in-
Ohio. Still Ohio.
Yep.
Certainly. Certainly.
Can we get a pic of Harambe up there or not?
Well, we have one on your shirt there, and I think that was the last image that Harambe had.
This is not Harambe. This was what people thought Harambe was, but Harambe was kind
Buddhist.
and gentle and loving with that child.
A Buddhist.
You're 100% right. A Buddhist at heart. Just like Takate, if we're going to remember it, rest in peace to Takate as well, the whale that Jim wanted to put in a 757 and fly from Miami to Washington to put into the ocean so that she could live free with her family once more. Here's Harambe, by the way. Rest in peace to Harambe.
The statue.
That's not Harambe. That's
Forget
just
about
a
that
statue.
That lion that the dentist.
That's the only Harambe we got left because Harambe's dead, Connor. Hope you're happy.
I'm not.
Okay?
I'm not happy about it. But is the child still alive? So yeah. Sorry.
Let's move along. Shout out to the ape on your chest there. That is very intimidating. And also Harambe, Takate, and Toddy, the sloth that we learned of just moments ago that AJ manhandled at the Columbus Zoo with Jack Hanna. Let's move along. Aaron, did you know that the reaction to you just casually playing catch before the game would have the reaction that it has? I assume yes, because everything you do gets talked about by everybody on earth. But the amount of swag and casualness to you transferring weight from one foot to the other, playing catch, no grimace on your face at all, has a lot of people thinking, you're going to make it back this season. What was that for you? Is this a normal day in rehab? How long have you been throwing like this? And are we back this year, like next week? Aaron, let's go.
Yeah, let's just cool our jets a little bit.
Next week, I heard.
Wow. Here we go.
Shotgun, he can just
We're on a
casually.
bye week. We're on a bye week this week.
So definitely
Next
good.
game?
Yeah.
2
definitely.
weeks?
Here we go.
Yeah.
More time.
Next game.
I'll definitely be back for the next game. But
Whoa.
as you can see, I'm in rehab right now. We're about 5 weeks tomorrow since surgery. 5 weeks yesterday was the injury. So the goal was, the first goal was to be able to get back on the field for the October 1st game. I was hoping without crutches. I just wasn't actually anywhere close to being able to get off of them. And then the next goal was to be able to throw on the field on the 15th. It's really just for me to be able to feel more normal. Just to be back around the guys was incredible. To be on the field without crutches, to be able to be on the sidelines, to be on the headset. It made me feel, like I wasn't so separated from the team. So really thankful for that. And yeah, obviously just about anything I do or say, there's some sort of reaction. That's kind of where I'm at right now. And I appreciate it. But that was a special moment for me to be able to feel a little bit more normal in 5 weeks. It's been really tough, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually.
So your recovery seems like it is anything but normal right now. You seem like you've sped up the process pretty quickly. Are you able to talk about any of the specific modalities, as you like to say, of what you're doing to kind of have such an instant impact and already be walking, throwing, doing all these things?
That's the big question for my teammates, friends, and obviously I'm sure outside of that group. But listen, I believe in the power of intention. I believe in the power of your mind and the willpower. Basically, this entire time I've kind of said this is what I'd like to do rehab-wise. Got some incredible people to work with, not just the Jets, but Heather here is amazing to work with. Neil, my doctor, Neil Alatrosh, did a kind of a newer, innovative surgery. And, I'd asked him if we could push it beyond the normal protocols. Cam Akers had the same surgery. He was able to come back in about 5 months. Me and JK both had the surgery within a couple days of each other, and it'll be interesting to see what both of our prognosis is and our timetable. But I just wanted to do things quicker, smart, but quicker. And like I've said, the most important thing is you just don't want to stretch the Achilles. Stress, okay. Stretch, not okay. So it's just about being smart with the rehab and pushing it as much as I can, and then backing off on the days that it doesn't feel great.
So what does it feel like whenever you're throwing there? Is it just tight? And what can you do? What can't you do right now?
Yeah, I felt great. I really felt great. I had just a little bit of a limp. I'm just not quite walking perfectly normal, but throwing feels great. We've been doing a lot of different stuff here in the rehab gym around weight transfer and movement, just in a smaller area. Mostly just like transferring weight from a right foot to a left foot to a right foot. Left foot, that's where the surgery is, so that's the plant leg. Probably better in the short and the long term that it's not the push-off foot, the back of the drop. Obviously, the left foot's an important part of the punch step and the drop, and obviously it's the plant foot. But I think it's a little easier to than maybe if it was the back foot and pushing off it every single time. So standing and throwing is not a problem. Moving in a small little area was not a problem, and I was excited to get back out there. And again, it just felt a little bit more normal in a time that hasn't anything has been the abnormal, anything I've tried to do. So nice to be able to be back out there.
Yeah, it felt like normal for you. For everybody else, it's defying medicine and logic and everything that's taking place. Because now the conversation is, okay, so they have a bye week this week. Obviously, he's back in 2 weeks. But legitimately, let's kind of shape this out. If he was to come back a month sooner than Akers was able to, it'd be like December or January, which isn't, until a long time, but football is going to really matter there. Then the conversation goes to, well, he'll come back whenever he can defend himself, because you can't just be sitting back there and not be able to move. To defend yourself or protect yourself against guys that are coming, you're going to have a little bit of explosion, right? That's the big step. That'll be the big phase of when you could potentially get back on a football field. That's what we're waiting for almost.
Look, I think we're kind of way ahead, Pat, in just even saying that. There's just markers. You saw me walk without crutches and throw on the field. Like, that's another marker is going to be jogging, and then another marker is going to be going through a pregame workout probably, and get on the practice field. And all these are going to take time. It's not just going to be, boom, 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 boom. There's critical markers that I have to hit as far as single leg strength and being able to do heel raises and being able to do explosive movements. And these are all progressions that take time. So this is, obviously, we're ahead of schedule. There's a lot of factors to that. There's the way I've attacked the rehab. There's obviously the surgery that Dr. Elitrosh did. There's the rehab that I've done, and kind of the round-the-clock approach that I've had. There's implementing the diet that I've been doing as well, and then just the power of the mind and the power of the manifestation of the desires. All those things together still doesn't get you back on the field. You have to hit a bunch of different things and be feeling a certain way, but. That's the goal. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to put a timetable on it specifically. That makes absolutely no sense. Anybody that doesn't realize that there's a lot of things that have to happen to get to that point. But it's going to have to be jogging and then explosive movements and then practicing and then everybody signing off on it. And, hopefully we get to have those conversations.
That's amazing. 3 weeks, dude. 3 weeks from right now, he's going to be back playing football fully.
Wow.
Because we saw him. He was walking. That one Jets drive thing we saw.
Yep.
Because on TV, we saw him do this one, and they say, let me get one, and do this whole thing. But in the locker room, they showed him just, what? What?
Surprise?
What? That was like 3 weeks afterwards.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to happen. And then now you're swaying. We just assume it's going to take place before this season ends with a lot of time left. And with what you've seen from this Jets team, what we've all seen, it's like they're going to be in this thing. And this is a powerful statement I hope you hear from the head coach. For those that didn't, here's Robert Salah talking about Aaron Rodgers being in the building and everything that he's brought. And Aaron's probably going to be uncomfortable listening to this, but it sets up for the next question about his relationship with the head coach of the team.
I've told him this. From a dynamic standpoint, just so people understand, when players go on IR, most of the time they're kind of off on their own. And usually the older they are, and with regards to their time in the league, the more liberal in terms of just going out there and getting the rehab that they feel they need, because they know their bodies better than anybody. So whatever he needs to do to attack his rehab, we're going to support him either way. Selfishly, as a coach, his superpower is his presence. And him being in this building, being around his teammates, being in the locker room, his positive attitude, his thoughts of manifestation and all that stuff, I think it's powerful. And so obviously as a coach, of course, selfishly, I want him here every single day. I want him in every meeting. I want him on the practice field. I want him on the sideline. I want him in the locker room, selfishly, because he's an unbelievable human. And outside of scheme and playing ability, the intangibles that he brings to his teammates and the fuel I think his teammates will give to him is priceless, and you just can't quantify it. You can't put a price on it. And but as far as being on the headsets, love his thoughts on the headsets. I guess you'd have to ask Hackett on how much it actually provides, but I definitely know he's got thoughts, and I know he's helping the quarterback the best he can. So him having a headset on, I can tell you this much: it doesn't hurt, and so just having him out there, it's awesome. And him walking around, I think goes to show just the type of mindset that guy has. I've never had an Achilles tear. Hopefully, I never do. I don't want to ruin my golf game, but he's from my understanding, him walking around is crazy.
Okay, I hope your golf game's good, Coach, but also, as a guy, with everything that happened in Green Bay and how it went, and you go over to the Jets organization, big city, and how it kind of all unfolds, to watch what your coaches were saying about you in Hard Knocks obviously had to be absurd. But to hear him describe what your presence means to that team has to feel good. And on the flip side of that, do you feel an obligation whenever you're there to try to help out as much as possible, to be on the headset? And how much do you take that into consideration whenever you're back in the building?
Zero obligation whatsoever. I just did what I felt like was going to feel the best. And, I like helping out. So I was on the headset every game in the preseason. I think the coaches appreciate it. Sometimes I can be a voice of calm and reason on there when there's 8 different people trying to talk to Hackett or trying to tell him to say something to Zach. So listen, I don't think I had a major impact on the game. Maybe calm some people's nerves. Maybe a couple thoughts I threw out, might have gotten taken into account and made their way into the call. But for me, it was all the parts of feeling a little bit more normal, feeling like I was a part of it, feeling like I was back. And I love Robert. I mean, Robert has been great from day one when I came in there. I love the way he leads. He's an alpha. He really cares about the guys a lot. He sets the, kind of the vision every single week. He doesn't change, the standards don't change. The accountability doesn't change. Doesn't matter if he's talking to, the youngest guy in the team or myself, the oldest guy in the team. It's always, the standard is the standard. He holds guys accountable. He's a fantastic coach. And, I was kind of on the fence this last week, to be honest, because my rehab's been so great and I've really been coming along so incredibly well here on the West Coast. I was like, if I fly out, I'm going to miss a few days of rehab, and am I going to regret these couple days not getting the same type of work in? And I just kind of hit up Robert. I said, hey, what do you think? And he said, need you out here, buddy.
Oh, that's awesome. That had to feel good.
That was cool. That was cool. So it was good to be out there with the guys. Obviously, incredible game. Incredible performance by our defense, and then just enough plays on offense to make it work. But when you win the turnover battle by 4, you should win those games. And our defense came through offensively. We took care of the football. We weren't great in the red zone, but Greg came through with some big clutch kicks, and then Tony Adams with the pick in the 4th was 2 minutes left was incredible, and it's good feeling. That locker room was one of the most fun scenes that I've been a part of after a win. Just seeing the guys and the excitement. We made like a little tunnel, a little congratulatory tunnel for guys coming off the field, and it was pretty awesome to see the smiles. And Woody was, he was threatening a couple days of work this week for the guys. It's our bye week, and for me, especially under under Mike, it wasn't even a question all those years. It was like, you come in Monday, you get a lift, and then you get the hell out of the building, and we'll see you the next week. And there were some rumors about coming into work till Wednesday. So luckily for the guys, Woody found some charity in his heart and allowed Salah to let him off yesterday. So it's going to be a nice long bye week for the boys to rest up and get ready for the game against the Giants next week.
Oh, God. The Johnson & Johnson owner is such a good guy.
Truly.
You know what I mean?
Changing the world.
Were you jumping in that tunnel? Were you jumping too? Because we saw you throw.
I wasn't jumping, but I bet you if he was a veterinarian, he might not have let guys out on Monday. So big shout out to the Johnson family.
Go ahead, AJ. People are going to Google what that means. That was another pretty big.
It's good.
You're the man. Go ahead, AJ.
As far as wearing the headset and acting like you're a coach on the sidelines, is it tough not to give more input and to give you any kind of fire to think of, hey, eventually when I'm done playing football 5-10 years from now, maybe I'm going to coach and call some plays?
How'd you even get that out with a straight face?
What do you mean? I think you'd be a great coach.
Yeah, the headset looks super cool on you.
Yeah,
with that
good
hat,
look.
too.
Yep.
With that hat.
I'm sure you'd be able to handle some young kid who can't make any of the throws that you can make. I'm sure you'd be great and have a lot of patience with that guy.
Just throw the ball. I can't.
Yeah, good sarcasm. Good sarcasm right there, H. Appreciate that. I do not plan on being a coach. No, there we go. Yeah. I was a little disappointed that we didn't have more hat options. I saw Big Mike last night. I thought their hat was pretty cool. They just had the star and it had some multicolors. I don't know. I enjoy being on the headset. Again, I'm not trying to feed too much. I can't talk directly to Zach. I can talk to the offensive staff and switch over to line 2, which is usually like some of the assistants and the line coaches. And every now and then it's like your mom listening to your calls when you're in junior high trying to talk to a cute girl you're interested in, just kind of listening in and then just throwing stuff in every now and then to kind of forget you're on there. But
who the hell
I
is
have
that?
fun with it.
Who is that? Who the hell just said that? It's Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I have fun with it. But no, I don't have any desire to be a coach in 5 to 10 years when I'm done playing. But
Yeah,
great question.
That coaching life is crazy. That coaching life is
It's
bananas.
It's a schedule. I mean, there's so much guarding your desk. I don't think I can handle that.
And it's like just that's how it is too. Like you know what I mean?
You got to be the head coach. If you're the head coach, though, you control that, Aaron.
I don't think so. Because if you lose, as soon as you lose, it's like you got to guard your desk.
Well, we got a guy that Aaron does things his own way,
You're right. Look at his Achilles, right? Look at that's what you're talking about. This guy does stuff his own way. He actually defies science. This guy right here, right now. That's what they're saying about you. Shannon Sharp said this morning.
Science, if like we learned, if science is Dr. Fauci, you damn right I'm defying
All right. Okay, that's on me.
Got him.
You let him right into that
You
one.
set yourself up for that one.
Yeah, Fauci's just sitting at home reminiscing about his terrible opening pitch. And he's like, it's Tuesday again? Great. Everybody's going to be reminded. Everybody's going to be reminded. Last question about your time out there with the Jets beating the Eagles from Darius.
Yeah, we got to go back to that throw. As a DB, I'm always checking out the swag of other players, quarterbacks, playing or not. Those Adidas shoes, are those specially made in big-ass shoes, and what do they do for the Achilles if they are specially made by Adidas?
Thanks, DB. Those were actually a size bigger than I usually wear, but I have these inserts in there to kind of offset my Achilles not sitting at 90 degrees just yet for the safety of the Achilles, so we're not stretching it, we're just stressing it. But it made it a little more comfortable having the 15s out there. The Ultra Boost, as they are there.
15? You have a size 14 foot normally? I felt like there was a little flex in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
That wasn't a flex. That was just a fact. But can I just answer the fucking question?
Well, gotta change it.
Change it.
Gotta change it.
Dude, sorry, we're not on YouTube here. My bad. Sorry, not sorry. But the Ultra Boosts are not a flat bottom shoe, and so the flat bottom is just not as good for the walking. So it has a little bit of some curvature, and we know curvature is better for the walking. So.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a
Shout out to Adidas and to to the Ultra Boost. And to the number one of the day. All right.
Yeah. We're up to 4, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
We're up to 5 days.
That's an all-time high.
That is our record thus far for how many shows we've made it without it. But to be clear, completely necessary in that situation.
Yes.
But follow up, had no idea you were a size 14. This guy, massive hands.
I think there were some other F words in there we could have bleeped as well. Might have been names. But,
All right. Ty has a question for you, Aaron.
Aaron, when you're looking around the league, again, with you being there, I don't know how much you saw from yesterday, but are you surprised with your Cal brethren, Jared Goff's kind of career resurgence here in Detroit after he kind of got cast out for dead when he left L.A.? And also, have you come around yet? Or, is it weird when you hear people saying that the Lions are one of the best teams in the NFL?
First of all, hello, Ty. How you doing, buddy? Are you excited about the big 15-6 barn burner that happened this weekend?
Hell yeah, brother. We'll see you in Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship, Aaron.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to make it, but...
They will.
Shout out to huge, entertaining win.
Old school football.
Right.
Old school football over there in Iowa. Big Ten West. Love it.
I think, to answer your question first, I really like Jared. I've been friends with him for a long time. Obviously, pulled for him because he's a Cal guy. And, I think there was some semblance when he was traded, he's going to go just kind of disappear in Detroit, where some careers have gone to die over the years. But as we've seen, this is not the same Detroit Lions team. It's also, let's just take a beat for the entire league. Now that there's no more undefeateds, and only I think one team that doesn't have a win yet, right? We're still just 6 games in. Not everybody's even played 6. There's some teams with some byes, so it's 5 and 6 games in the season. So let's just take a nice little pause. I know it's overreaction Monday yesterday, and today we got to make all the prognostications for the week. But we're still 6 games in. A lot can happen. Teams, there's injuries, there's hot streaks, there's cold streaks, there's a lot of things that happen between now and week 18. So, but I will say, I'm a big fan of Jared's. Really love watching him play. He's playing really well. They have one loss to Seattle, I believe, and then they also beat Kansas City, who only has 1 loss. So there'll be some measuring stick games coming up, I think, in the league in the next couple of weeks. I believe that Miami plays Kansas City, is that right?
Philly. Sunday Night Football.
Miami plays Philly. Yeah, Miami plays Philly, which will be a great one because both teams playing really well. I'm sure there's a couple other good ones set for this weekend. I wasn't obviously watching a whole lot because we were playing, and I missed out on all my usual Red Zone channel, watching Scott try and find a way to piss off camera. But yeah, we're 6 games in, so we're 3-3. We're excited as hell on a 2-game win streak, and now we got a chance to sit back, get healthy, and then we'll see what happens.
Have you seen a lot of Dan Campbell? Have you seen this guy? He pulled out, he had props this last week. This last weekend, he had props. He went into his back pocket. He said, "What's that, man?" And he's Abraham Lincoln, man. Freed the slaves, man.
That's right, man.
Got shot in the head at the theater, man.
Yep.
Also a 5.
Yep.
And then he put in his other hand. He goes, "What's that? 5, man. We've won 5 now." And he's like, here it is. Look, what I got in my back pocket, man. That's Abraham Lincoln, bro. Oh, it's 5. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Wait, let me go to my pocket. He does another one. Boom, bang. That's 5, man. That's how many we got now. He seems like a guy that everybody would want to play for. And I know you just sang the praises of Coach Salah, and I think we all appreciate the hell out of him. But the more you see or learn of MCDC, what are your thoughts on Dan Campbell, and why do you think he's been able to have the success that he's had in Detroit thus far?
Yeah, I have some mixed thoughts over the years.
Whoa!
He followed one of my all-time favorite coaches in Miami, Joe Philbin. And, there were some things said during that time which I felt like were not maybe the classiest stuff in reference to Joe and how he led. That, we saw some of the same stuff from the guy in Denver about one of my all-time favorite coaches who's with us now. I think there's a way of following, coaches where you don't have to slam the previous guy in order to make yourself feel better. That being said, as opposed to our society, I do believe in most people in our society. I do believe in second and third chances, and people can learn from the mistakes they made. And just because somebody said something 10 years ago doesn't mean you got to cancel them for the rest of their life. And I will say, I had certain feelings about Dan based on some of those comments, but I've definitely been won over the more that I see him talk. And I think that with any great leader, you grow and you evolve and you adapt and you learn about yourself and you become a better leader if you're authentic and you listen. And I think he's done a good job at that. So I'm actually a fan. Wasn't maybe in the beginning, but I'm a fan. I like to, I think with any player would tell you the thing that they appreciate most from coaches is just being real. Just being authentically yourself is something that you can relate to. Not trying too hard, not too many cliches and stuff. Just being yourself. And I think if anybody in the league is themselves more than MCDC, I'd like to see it because it just seems like he kind of says what's on his mind and is who he is and doesn't make apologies. So yeah, I've come around on him. I think he'd be a lot of fun to play for.
He's also, properly so jocked. He is so jocked. I mean, Vrabes.
Is he more jocked than Salah though? Because Salah's pretty jocked.
Ooh. See, Salah's talking about golf. I don't know if MCDC's bringing up golf ever. I'm just worried about maybe mentality at this stage of life. Because I think MCDC, you drop him into like a gladiator pit, still ready to fight. You know what I mean? Still ready to do it. Vrabes, I think you drop in there. Sure. Vrabes would be able to. Coach Salah, he's worried about his golf game.
Vrabes would be huffing a little bit because all the the sticks. Yeah. But who else would you put into the Thunderdome? Would you put you got MCDC and Salah? Who else?
Right, Tomlin.
Kind of hold their own.
Tomlin, I guess. Tomlin, you put in there. I mean, Shane Steichen.
Gannon, obviously.
Andy Reid.
Yeah, Big Mike.
Mm-hmm. Bill Belichick.
Mike, no question.
Yeah, I mean.
Can't put Belichick in.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
You son of a bitch.
General, you're not.
D'Amico. D'Amico
Ryans. Put D'Amico in there for sure.
Mike McDaniel, he can scrap probably a little bit too.
Oh, Coach McDaniel will figure out a way to be the entertainment in there.
Yeah. McDermott. I mean.
Yeah, McDermott.
Sure. He's a wrestler shooting for takedowns.
Frank Reich.
Artie's the son of
Frank Reich. We don't know.
He could kill you with Bible
Artie
verses.
Smith?
You have no idea.
Artie Smith, his dad is a Marine.
Yeah.
So maybe might get you, but. I think Vrabes and MCDC are the two. D'Amico, though, needs to be respected a little bit more in that conversation.
Ron Rivera, if he knows he's in a fight.
Good luck.
Ron Rivera will have no idea he's in there.
Good luck getting your arms around Dayball.
Yeah, I mean, Dayball's got that truck mentality, which I appreciate.
Kevin O'Connell's huge.
Yeah, he's
Hold
a former quarterback.
He is. He's
son of a
bigger than
bitch.
everybody.
Yeah. Oh, Doug Pederson.
Front row, far right. We know the winner.
Hey, if you're going to throw in assistant coaches, though, I know he's gone through some injury stuff and he's recovering. But James Campen, former wrestler, and
didn't you call him? Was that the fat ass you were talking to at Hard Knocks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, I didn't know. You and his relationship was very evident that you're very tight. And then AJ told us a little bit of story about the weight where he had to be, and the goal and the bet and everything like that. And you inspired. They're the team that has no wins. I couldn't even imagine what life is like down there right now. You know what I mean? Like in those have you ever been a part of that? No, you've never been a part of it where they're talking about firing the coach middle of the season ever, have you?
No, I think that's it's what did you expect? Like there was going to be some growing pains for sure, but I think they have a quarterback for the future. They definitely have a pass rusher of the future, but they're a young team. They're a really young team. There's going to be some growing pains for all those guys. I mean, maybe not Stroud. I mean, he's had some pretty smooth sailing so far, but there's always going to be growing pains in the first year. And this is a real knee-jerk reaction league and media and fan base, though. So I hope that staff sticks around because I think it's a really well put together staff on both sides of the ball. And I hope they just have some patience because I think they got some pieces, but they obviously need a few more pieces in order to compete and be relevant.
I don't think that owner has ever been patient in his life, but maybe in this particular case he will be because he's seen what massive moves have happened. The NFL is interesting this year, Aaron. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Aaron, 25 teams scored 21 or fewer points on Sunday. 2 teams were on a bye. Simple math, only 5 teams scored over 21 points this week in the NFL. I think it's a 10-year low as far as scoring and red zone scoring. Any idea why?
That's great numbers there, Tone, by the way.
Good stats.
That's all I know.
Good stats, Tone. Baby Tony stats.
Can't form
Hashtag stat that.
my own opinions.
You know what? I think there's been some bad situational ball for sure. I think if you look at some of those stats, red zone percentage and third down percentage, I'd be interested to see where they rank as opposed to years past. Defenses too, are always going to evolve and adapt, and some of the combination of defense evolving, the way the game is refereed as well, can sometimes have an impact on that. Some years they emphasize more things than others. Some years it's more offensive minded. Some years more defensive minded. But I don't know. I don't know if there's a clear cut answer. I think that there's just maybe some bad situational ball going on. The defenses are good, but that number seems pretty low to me.
Yeah, so last year 20 was the most per weekend or whatever, and then they averaged 15.2. It's like it seems like the defenses are playing better ball. It just feels like that. Now you're not in the games right now, but you're watching them. That's you don't think that's the case. You think it's offenses kind of just playing worse football as opposed to defenses playing better ball?
I would say I would always lean on it being the offense not playing great ball than defense, just because I think great offense can beat great defense. But there are some pretty incredible defensive players going right now, and guys like Khalil Mack, who's had an incredible start to the season, and they went up against Micah Parsons, one of the best or top 3 players on defense in the league. And that was low scoring. That was 20-17, so that fit the category of both those guys. But if you look back at that game and look at some of the moments, there's always 2 or 3 plays that keep you from scoring another 7 or 10 points. Look at our game. We easily could have scored 30 plus points with execution in the red zone, and also we had some plays that kicked us out of range of points. We had a great drew him off sides. Zach kind of scrambles around a little bit, hits Garrett. Garrett breaks tackle, runs down the sideline. Allen, drills a guy, gets a 15-yard penalty. We go from 1st and 10, I think, on the inside the 15 to 2nd and 20 something, 2nd and 25 from the 50. So we end up not scoring any points on that drive. There goes 3. We finished with 20. There gets us 23. Then we're back. There's only 21 teams under that line now. So then your their tone is a little bit different.
Okay, love that. Let's add some context to this thing. And if you think about last night, Dak missed 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. There's one early and then one late. Herbert, I think, missed a couple to Keenan Allen.
Oh, yeah. The one to Pollard. Yeah, the one to Pollard late, right? It's the same play they ran against
Minnesota.
Against Minnesota. Against Minnesota, what was it? Who said that?
D-Butt.
Last year.
Yeah, against Minnesota last year. And he hit it for, I think, a 70-yard touchdown or something. So when they blew Minnesota out like 44 to something.
Yep.
I remember watching that play. Had it again. Yeah, Dak probably hits that 9 out of 10 times, right? He just put a little bit too much air on it, just missed slightly outside, and that's 4 points there. So
yeah,
that's the way I go.
It is interesting to look back on all the could have beens on all these games. I don't think we've done that enough. But you look at the top of that thing, the worst in the league, the Giants. That thing before half. In the NFL, buddy. Can't happen. Can't happen in the professional football league. You know what I mean?
I understand. I feel like the last play, obviously, there was potential for a penalty on Johnson, but I don't personally like going under center there in either of those plays. We're in the 1 yard line both times, especially not in the first half. And I understand what was going on. They probably had a pass to run check, and he checked to the run. I don't know if that was the right check or not, or was it supposed to be weak rotation, strong rotation, or whatever it might be. But I like going to the gun there and giving Tyrod a chance to have 3 throws to get in the end zone. If you don't get it, you kick a field goal, and then you're up 9-0. It's a different game, 9-0 half than 6-0 for sure. And then end of the game, I get you want to kind of fake the duo again with Waller leaking out, but Waller was in a 2-point stance before the snap. It wasn't like a total run look. And I don't know. I mean, they still obviously had a chance, and it could have been penalty called. But then what are you going to do back again on the 1 yard line and you go back under center? Like, I don't know.
This is why you should be a coach.
Yeah.
You're going to be a coach. You hear it, AJ.
Well, use your talent. Tyrod's an athletic guy. Get him on the edge, or give him a chance to look at it and scramble around and move him. Or if they bring zero pressure, give him a chance to throw it up to 12. But not when he's in a 2-point stance when you're in 21 personnel and it's, you're probably not going to run duo there against zero pressure.
There seems to be a lot of that going on around the league right now. Got a lot of weeks left, though. 12 weeks left in the season. It'll all get figured out. The offenses will get going again. Yeah, they'll get going again. Go ahead, AJ.
When you're scrambling, or say any quarterback in the NFL is running around scrambling, we know there's a lot of protection on you. Let's say you're down the field. Are you ever baiting defensive players into head-to-head collisions? It seems like it happens a lot where you're running, boom, at the last second I slide, the guys go flying over top you, and you hope you clips your helmet or something, boom, 15 yards, here we go, first down. Is that something that happens?
Whoa. You do this one. Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah. It's a good play if you do.
I know you were a master at baiting some of those calls, but I never got into a whole lot of that. I usually took those shots and understood outside the pocket. What was surprising was I saw 2 or 3 plays where the guy was outside the pocket, and usually when you're outside the pocket, you lose that kind of that one-step protection. And I thought there were a couple calls, and a couple, definitely one in the Sunday night game that didn't seem like roughing the passer. Oh, yeah. But I like that quarterbacks are protected. I think it's important. It makes it real hard for defensive guys, though. How do you tackle a quarterback in the pocket? It's definitely made it more difficult. But, I think one thing they really got to look at, and there's a lot of, kind of whining I see at times.
Ooh, yes.
But, quarterbacks, I'm all for the sliding. But guys who slide late and are getting hit, I think that's one thing they really got to look into, because it's tough for a defensive player already to make a play. And there was one in the Dallas game where that was a total helmet to helmet, and shouldn't have gone in there with his helmet. But just guys getting kind of touched or hugged as they slide late, it shouldn't be a penalty. If there's forceful contact to the head or neck or some sort of spearing act, I get it. But if you're going to slide late, you have to know you're going to get some sort of contact. Because guys coming in and take your head off, then you change levels right at the last second. Maybe slide a little bit earlier.
I think intent should be taken into account a lot more, but then you're asking refs not to be robots, and then in the biggest moments, are they going to be able to make the decision in real time? I don't know how you get it all right, but I do appreciate the fact that you're saying, hey, some of these quarterbacks are kind of calling it upon themselves to get their heads taken off, because you're oldest guy in the league. Is that right? You were the oldest guy in the league?
Yeah, but I'm not doing any scrambling right now, so...
Yeah, well, that's what we're waiting on, though. We thought there was a chance. Look like
Look, I think the quarterback's got to be protected for sure, but at the same time, slide a little bit earlier. That's a good place to start.
Yeah, I think so. Or do the Kenny Pickett fake slide from whenever he was at Pitt.
That's right.
That was awesome.
Sweet. Yep.
That was so cool.
Change again.
They had to change the rules, and defenders were so mad. They're like, all right, I'm going to try to take his head off next time it happens. It's like, whoa. Let's slow down here.
You almost had number 2 of the day there.
Yeah.
You held back.
Yeah, thank you.
Good.
I'm very mature.
Wait for 2 more hours. Yeah, 2 more hours.
Yeah, nobody's talking about how mature I am. I could have dropped a very hard F right there because that's literally what they were thinking. But I'm an adult. I'm a professional. Speaking of, Connor has a question for you, Aaron.
Yeah, definitely not an adult or a professional. But, Aaron, this year's Zach Wilson, it doesn't look like the Zach Wilson we've seen the last few years. I think everybody who watches football knows that. What do you think about his progression, and are you still talking to him and watching film every week to kind of give him more tips? Because it does feel like out of nowhere here, or not out of nowhere because you're there, he has kind of cemented himself as that guy who can get the ball passed down to him from you once you come back.
Well, I think one thing's important is that I really don't deserve a ton of credit for his progression. I think it's been his own work ethic, his desire to improve in all areas of his life. I think, it doesn't hurt to have kind of an example of an older guy who's had some success and seeing kind of how I go about my business. I'm sure there's been some stuff that's rubbed off on him, but he deserves a lot of credit. I mean, he deserves a lot of credit for the way he's handled himself, for his maturity, for his focusing on the fundamentals and getting better. And I'm very, very, very proud of Zach and proud of the progression I've seen on and off the field. And off the field is often as important or more important than the on the field stuff, because you got to learn how to be a leader and relate to your teammates and inspire your teammates and handle the difficult media. And I think he's done a lot of really, really good things. And I love being around him and love pulling for him and sending little messages every week. And just really happy for him.
What are the messages? You record yourself, voice memo? Are they just text? What are the messages?
Yeah, I think I make it real dramatic. I'll dress up in a famous movie character outfit and give him some inspiring speech. So.
Nice.
So you deserve a lot of credit for his development. Yeah. You're talking about no credit. It's like this guy's committed. He's putting on
Leonidas.
Jack Sparrow and Leonidas.
Thespian.
You're a real thespian for this kid.
Yeah, last week I really I channeled my inner Under Siege.
Oh, hell yeah.
Went into a really good headspace of Steven Seagal as the undercover, killing machine disguised as a chef, and did a combination interpretive dance, inspirational speech as Steven Seagal combined with the dance moves of Britney Spears. Nice. And I felt like the message kind of
current Britney Spears or old school Britney Spears? Big
difference.
Current.
The recent.
So your cheeks were out. Your cheeks were out with the thing.
I was more in a traditional Steven Seagal gi, but just kind of tried to channel some of the dance moves I saw from Britney.
Yeah, she's crushing it. Anytime you see a Britney Spears video, it's always captioned and titled as if everything's going well.
She's divorced. You should shoot your shot. There's a big thing having high celebrity, high profile relationships.
Oh yeah, and Travis did it on the New Heights pod.
Yeah,
remember?
You can do it here.
The floor is yours.
Listen, I'm really focused on my rehab right now. I don't think I can do one.
Okay.
So.
Come on. Okay. She might help.
It's not enough.
He loves ball. He loves ball.
The guy loves rehab, loves ball.
That's right.
24/7. It feels like what you said there about Steven.
Right now.
Yeah, we understand. Fully focused. Feels like what you just said there about Steven Seagal was said in a similar fashion of whenever you're talking about dolphins fornicating with each other and you hovering your Achilles over top of it. Have you tried that yet? And is that a part of this whole thing?
I haven't quite tried it yet.
I'm so sick.
I haven't seen a lot of dolphins, and I'm not really allowed on the beach yet because the sand can create some different angles for your Achilles. So I'm looking forward to getting back in the water, and we're working on this specific type of underwater sound system that's supposed to call the dolphins in.
Nice.
With some sort of
there we go.
Mating ritual cadence that it's a newer device. It's kind of in the beta stage, and I'm more of an alpha guy. So
yeah, heard that about Coach.
If we can get that thing working properly, then I'll probably have a good answer for you in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Need that to get to the alpha stage.
Yep.
Not even messing around with the beta stage.
Yeah,
Can't have it. Need the alpha. We appreciate the hell out of you. Enjoy rehab. What's the rest of the day look like? We're just full board getting this Achilles back so we can play this season.
Yeah, we started rehab a little bit late, so I got some shit from JK when I walked in a little later than usual. But that's because we have something going on the back end of this. But it'll be rehab for the next few hours, and then head home and do a little more rehab, maybe work on my tan a little bit, and then a little more rehab. And then, I don't know, just probably we got some baseball to watch tonight. I guess you watch baseball again. We got some World Series or something.
Yeah, the Phillies aren't playing until tomorrow, I don't think. Are they playing tonight?
Phillies just won, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Your buddy Miles Teller, big Phillies fan. Shout out to Miles.
Shout out to Miles. Bro, the first time I watched the Phillies this offseason, Miles was a part of that game, just like that super fan was last night. Did you see that lady? Did you see the Chargers lady?
I didn't see a lot of the game. I saw some of the highlights, but but I saw when you were introing her. Yeah, she looked like could have been a plant for sure.
No,
That's
no.
what I'm saying.
Thank you,
Aaron,
robot.
we cannot be this negative. I would like to let everybody know. We'll find out. This lady's joining us at 3 p.m. Eastern today.
Yes.
Wow.
What?
That's real.
Oh, yeah.
This lady is joining us. Okay, want to let you know the star of the show, a lady who's
Is she really?
Yes, 3 o'clock today. First interview.
Holy hell.
That's
I'm gonna be watching for sure.
All
That's
right.
the best part about Rehab. I get to watch the show.
Well-
So shout out to you guys for putting on a show every single day. Shout out to free speech too. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Still alive and well in some places.
Amen.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Uh-huh.
America.
That's right.
Hell yeah, dude. You can't say that.
Someone squeezed one in.
I
You
don't
are-
think I confirmed the word.
I think you said like
started it.
RG3 said.
No, because I didn't make it past the U.
Anyways, we appreciate the hell out of you. Keep crushing it. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Size 14 shoe,
Yeah,
Unreal.
double XL glove.
that's my takeaway.
I don't know what you're saying. We know what we're thinking. Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers. Proud of you, buddy.
Yeah.